zero point 0.9 degrees, a story of innovation and sustainability. The year is 2092. The world is a very different place than it was just a few decades ago. The climate has changed drastically, and the temperature has risen to an average of 0.9 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. This has caused widespread droughts and crop failures, and many people have been forced to abandon their homes. In this new world, water is more precious than ever. A farmer named John lives in a small village that is slowly being swallowed up by the desert. He has a younger brother named James, who is also a farmer. One day, John finds an atom splitter in the ruins of an old laboratory. He decides to use it to split water molecules, hoping to find a way to produce more water for his village. James is skeptical at first, but he eventually agrees to help John with his experiments. John's experiments are initially unsuccessful. But after many failed attempts, he finally succeeds in splitting a water molecule. To his surprise, he finds that the water molecules contain tiny particles of gold. John is overjoyed. He knows that he can use the gold to buy water for his village, and he can also sell the gold to make a profit. John and James begin to split water molecules on a large scale. To their surprise, there was one strange side effect to their experiments. The gold that they produced would automatically convert to air after some idle time. This meant that they had to keep splitting water molecules on a constant basis in order to maintain their supply of gold. At first, this was a nuisance. But then, John and James realized that this could be an advantage. They could use the air to power their atom splitters. This allowed them to produce even more water, and they were able to help even more people. One day, John and James were working in their laboratory when they had an idea. They realized that they could use the gold-to-air conversion process to create a new type of fuel. This fuel would be clean and renewable, and it would be perfect for powering vehicles. John and James patented their new fuel, and they soon began to sell it to businesses and governments around the world. Their company became very successful, and they were able to use their profits to help even more people. They built a new water desalination plant in their village, and they also started a foundation to help other villages that are struggling with water shortages. After a few years, John and James decided to expand their company. They knew that there was a growing demand for clean and renewable ammunition, so they decided to develop a new type of air bullet. The air bullets that John and James developed were a major breakthrough. They were the first clean and renewable ammunition that was practical for use in weapons. John and James's air bullets were made from compressed air, which was stored in small, bullet-like cartridges. The cartridges were loaded into a gun, and when the gun was fired, the compressed air would expand rapidly, creating a powerful blast. The air bullets were just as powerful as traditional bullets, but they had several advantages. They were clean and renewable, and they did not produce any harmful emissions. They were also more affordable than traditional bullets. John and James's air bullets were a huge success. They were quickly adopted by militaries and law enforcement agencies around the world. Their company became even more successful, and they were able to help even more people. John and James's story is a reminder that even the most unexpected events can have a positive outcome. The gold-to-air conversion process was initially a nuisance, but John and James were able to turn it into an advantage. They used their ingenuity to create a new type of fuel that is clean, renewable, and sustainable. Their story is a reminder that we should never give up on our dreams, no matter how difficult they may seem. With hard work and determination, anything is possible. Thanks for listening.